Welcome everyone to our channel, Today in Psychology. In this series, we explore the fascinating world of psychology and bring you the latest insights and theories in the field. Our focus today is on Karen Horney's theory of femininity, and we're so excited to share this information with you. So, if you are ready to learn how Karen Horney is considered the pioneer for women's rights, sit back, relax, and let's dive right in. Karen Horney was a German-American psychologist who made significant contributions to the field of psychology. She was a leading figure in the development of psychoanalytic theories and was known for her challenge to traditional Freudian ideas. Her theory of femininity, which she developed in the mid-20th century, focuses on the social and cultural forces that shape women's self-esteem and identity. Horney believed that women's sense of self was deeply influenced by their relationships with others and the expectations placed on them by society. Key components of Karen Horney's theory of femininity. Cultural and social factors. Karen Horney's theory of femininity is centered around the idea that women's sense of self is deeply influenced by cultural and social factors. According to Horney, these factors include the expectations placed on women by society, as well as their relationships with others. She believed that these cultural and social forces have a profound impact on women's self-esteem and identity, shaping the way they see themselves and their place in the world. Self-esteem and identity. In her theory of femininity, Karen Horney emphasized the role of self-esteem and identity in shaping women's experiences. She believed that women's self-esteem and identity were formed by their experiences and perceptions of themselves and others. Women who had positive experiences and healthy relationships were seen as having a strong sense of self, while those who had negative experiences would struggle with self-esteem. This highlights the importance of relationships and experiences in shaping women's sense of self, according to Horney's theory. Femininity as a social construct. In Horney's theory of femininity, she saw femininity not as a biological given, but rather as a social construct. Horney argued that femininity was shaped by cultural expectations and norms. These expectations could vary greatly between different cultures and time periods. However, in her view, she considered such cultural expectations as: women were expected to be emotional, nurturing, and sensitive. Women were expected to be obedient and submissive. Women were expected to focus on domestic tasks, such as cooking, cleaning, and childcare. Beauty ideals. There were strict beauty ideals that women were expected to conform to, such as having a thin waist, a small nose, and delicate features. All of these expectations, she argued, help form who she believes she is. Not penis envy, as Sigmund Freud had proposed. This perspective highlights the fluidity of femininity and the idea that it is not fixed or determined by biology, but rather shaped by cultural and social factors. Different types of femininity. Karen Horney's theory of femininity identifies three distinct types of femininity, which are compliant, aggressive, and detached. These different types are based on the ways in which women respond to cultural and social expectations and norms. The compliant type is characterized by a desire to conform to cultural expectations, while the aggressive type seeks to assert their independence and power. The detached type, on the other hand, seeks to distance themselves from cultural expectations and norms. These different types highlight the complex and multifaceted nature of femininity and the ways in which women respond to cultural and social forces. The moving toward type. In Karen Horney's theory of femininity, the moving toward type fits into the compliant type. The moving toward type refers to women who seek to conform to cultural expectations and norms in order to gain love and approval from others. This type of femininity is characterized by a desire to please others and a need for external validation. As such, it falls under the compliant type in Horney's theory, which is defined by a desire to conform to cultural expectations. Women who identify as moving toward are described as seeking love, security, and affection from others. They are often seen as nurturing and caring, and their self-esteem is linked to their relationships with others. The moving against type. In Karen Horney's theory of femininity, the moving against type fits into the aggressive type. The moving against type refers to women who reject cultural expectations and norms and seek to assert their independence and power. This type of femininity is characterized by a desire for autonomy and a rejection of cultural norms. As such, it falls under the aggressive type in Horney's theory, which is defined by a desire to assert independence and power. The moving away type. In Karen Horney's theory of femininity, the moving away type falls under the category of the neurotic type. This type of femininity is characterized by a sense of detachment from cultural expectations and norms, often as a result of negative experiences and low self-esteem. Women who identify as moving away type may feel overwhelmed by societal pressures and seek to withdraw from them. They often struggle with self-esteem and feelings of inadequacy, and may resort to escape mechanisms such as substance abuse or excessive fantasy. As such, they embody the neurotic type in Karen Horney's theory, which is defined by a sense of detachment and a struggle with self-esteem. Conclusion. In conclusion, Karen Horney's theory of femininity was a groundbreaking contribution to the field of psychology. Her belief that femininity was a social construct shaped by cultural and social forces, as well as individual experiences and relationships, was ahead of its time. Despite dying before the feminist movement took hold, she changed the way psychology viewed gender differences and continues to be a relevant and influential voice in the field today. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out the next video in our ABCs of Psychology series, focusing on L, which is for how to overcome low self-esteem. Don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on our latest content.